Good evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. Today is Tuesday, July 5th, 2016. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, a trial date has been set for a Manchester woman charged in the murder of her fiancé. Students across the state who are taking advantage of the Tennessee Promise program have until August 1st to complete their community service requirements. We'll take you to the Kiwanis Club City of Tullahoma 4th of July celebration, and we'll speak with State Representative Judd Matheny about some new gun laws. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
Cool off this summer at Southern Middle Tennessee's newest water park, Tullahoma Splash Island. Fun for all ages. 3 25-foot slides, lazy river, fun water features for toddlers. Tasty food items are available. All this and more, only $5 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Sundays, 1 to 5. Join the fun at Tullahoma Splash Island.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. A trial date has been set for a Manchester woman accused of the murder of her fiancé. Connie Sanders King is scheduled in Coffee County Circuit Court October the 19th. King was arrested 3 years ago and charged with felony murder and premeditated first-degree murder. Her estranged husband, Troy King of Grundy County, has also been charged and has pled guilty to second-degree murder. Coffee County Circuit Court Judge Vanessa Jackson will preside over the trial proceedings.
All incoming and current Motlow State Community College students have until August 1st to complete 8 hours of community service in order to remain eligible for the Tennessee Promise Scholarship. Last year, Tennessee Promise students across the state volunteered a total of 318,183 hours, which resulted in a monetary value of $6,592,751.76 given back to the state of Tennessee by Tennessee Promise scholars, according to Jonathan Graham, Tennessee Promise coordinator at Motlow.
Students who still need to complete their community service hours can visit the Motlow Tennessee Promise webpage at tnpromise.mscc.edu for an up-to-date listing of community service opportunities in their area. Students can also visit TennesseeAchieves.org, which lists a host of community service opportunities for students in their local region. Community service hours can be submitted to the TN Achieves website as well. Students must complete the TN Achieves program in their county to access Tennessee Promise funding.
The Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development announced last week the 11 counties that will receive 3-star competitive enhancement grants. The grants will be used for a variety of local programs addressing public safety, health, education, and workforce development. The 11 communities receiving 3-star competitive enhancement grants include Bedford, Cannon, Claiborne, Crockett, Giles, Greene, Hardeman, Henderson, Madison, Marion, and McMinn counties. In total, TNECD has awarded $250,000 to Tennessee communities through the 3-star competitive enhancement grant program. The grants are part of TNECD's Rural Economic Development Fund, launched last fall and designed to build capacity for transformative economic development strategies in rural Tennessee. The 11 counties selected were chosen out of 28 applications. TNECD Commissioner Randy Boyd said, quote, "We're excited to assist communities that are actively working to promote local education and workforce readiness, public safety initiatives, as well as health and wellness programs. I can't wait to see the results of these local initiatives, which are all innovative projects that will show that Tennessee communities are committed to investing in themselves, a vital step in spurring new investments from the private sector," end quote. And stay with us. We'll have more Newsleader on 6 coming up right after these messages.
The Russell Barnett Automotive family is the largest automotive retailer in southern Middle Tennessee. With over 1,200 vehicles to choose from, we are your one-stop shop. Check out our awesome website, russellbarnett.com. There's over 1,200 vehicles to choose from. Stop by one of our 5 locations. That's Russell Barnett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Chevrolet GMC, and Ford of Winchester, or Russell Barnett Ford and Kia of Tullahoma. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, you know.
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
I'm meteorologist Leland Statham from the News Channel 5 Weather Center. Look to Jim Fuller and crew for local news night here on Channel 6.
Welcome back. Coffee County Veteran Service Officer Gene Stillings was announced as the Volunteer of the Year at the Kiwanis 4th of July celebration Saturday. Let's watch as Sam DiNicola makes the announcement.
A great deal of pride and pleasure to introduce to you the Tullahoma Kiwanis Club Volunteer of the Year for this community. This man's name is Gene Stillings, and before he comes up here, let me tell you a little bit about him. You know, our local veterans group rarely get the recognition they deserve for what they do on behalf of the wonderful men and women in this area that have served our country over the years, such as the disabled American veterans, the veterans of foreign wars, and of course, the American Legion. Now, Gene Stillings is one of those individuals who is always there to help veterans when they need assistance. He joined the Disabled American Veterans Coffee County chapter 18 years ago and served in several positions over the years, up to and including that chapter's presidency. As chapter service officer, he helped veterans make applications for compensations, benefits, and pensions by virtue of the fact that they earned it because of their service to our country. He also serves as the Veterans Transportation Network Coordinator and driver, transporting our veterans on a daily basis to Veterans Administration hospitals in Murfreesboro and Nashville and to clinics throughout this area so that they can get the medical treatment that they need and they deserve. He has in excess of 5,000 volunteer hours in serving the veterans of our areas. He's married to his wife, Margaret. They have 2 sons and 2 grandchildren, and it gives me, again, a great deal of pride and pleasure to introduce to you. And please stand as able and thank Mr. Gene Stillings, our Volunteer of the Year.
The Tennessee Army Band was one of the crowd favorites at the July 4th celebration. Let's watch as the band performs God Bless America.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. Well, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, well, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I'd gladly stand next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Well, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless you, Tullahoma.
We'll be right back in a moment after these messages.
I'm Philip Bourne, Stamp McNabb Detail Shop Manager. Here are a few things our customers have to say about our service.
What I love most about the Stamp McNabb Detail Shop is there's someone local that I can trust to pick up my car, have it cleaned, and deliver it back to me in showroom condition.
What really amazed me is when he opened the hood and looked like he had taken the old engine out and put a new engine inside.
We have several different packages and individual services to get your vehicle looking like new again. We're located just behind Stamp McNabb Chevrolet dealership. Call today, schedule an appointment, and see what a difference our detail can make.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
Welcome back. Tom Corrington spoke recently with State Representative Judd Matheny about legislation enacted this year regarding guns.
Well, let's talk about another subject which the legislature is almost has an obsession about, and that is they got to do something about guns in every session. So where does that stand this year? I know it was introduced to allow guns by, I guess, employees on the state colleges and universities.
Yes, we made a lot of good fronts in the Second Amendment this year, which most conservatives in the General Assembly agree that the Second Amendment is for law-abiding citizens, and that people need to be allowed the opportunity to prove that they're a law-abiding citizen before their Second Amendment is quelled. And we made some good progress this year. We're allowing or allowing school districts to be able to set up their own programs to arm individuals within the classroom. And we set some...
Which says they don't have to set up...
They don't have to, but if they do, they go through 40 hours a year of instruction that individual does, as well as 40 hours of initial instruction and 16 hours a year of new instruction, and that's as much or more than law enforcement gets. We also passed a law this year that allows employees of higher education institutions to be able to carry weapons on campus if they have permit, employees, not students, because we realize that handgun permit is 21 years old and most students are not going to have those. We are allowing young men and women in the military that are under 21 to be able to get their handgun permit now. So if an 18 or 19-year-old that is active duty military or in the Reserve or National Guard can now get their permit under the age of 21. Of course, they've been through much more training than law enforcement or civilians ever would by that point anyway.
But it's still employees you're talking about, not
well,
students.
I'm talking about the vast gamut of laws we passed. But yes, employees of higher education institutions can carry now. Local education agencies can come up with their own program if they choose to. They can opt in or opt out. We also streamline.
Local meaning all the way down to the Tullahoma School Board?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We also passed a law that streamlines the handgun carry permit process, and basically you can get a lifetime permit now for under $300. That includes background checks conducted every 4 years by the Department of Safety. They have amassed more than $18 million in surplus monies in the handgun carry permit program, so we've drastically cut the fees. We've increased the amount of time that you can apply for your handgun permit, your carry permit, after you take your training from 6 months to a year. We've increased the renewal from 6 years to 8 years, so now a permit is good for 8 years once you renew it now. Once again, background checks are automatically done every 4 years. We reduced the cost of lifetime permits for retired law enforcement officers. It's now just $100 for a retired law enforcement officer to be able to get a lifetime handgun permit, provided that they retired in good standing and are citizens of this state.
But there's not a general requirement for background checks that would cover, for example, online sales or gun shows. So you could buy, in fact, one of your legislators brought in a rapid fire gun, which he bought online.
It was a rifle, yeah.
A rifle he bought online for cash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do that a lot.
No record of any kind.
Well,
and no background check.
Not on a private purchase. Now, if he bought it from a gun dealer, it would have to.
What's wrong with the background? What's wrong with the private purchase?
Private purchase is an individual right. I mean, it's a right to be able to conduct commerce with someone else, and it doesn't mean that you're doing it for nefarious purposes. It just means you're conducting commerce. It would be the exact same thing if you wanted to buy a car from your neighbor, but instead of you being able to buy it from your neighbor, you had to go to a dealership.
Well, there's a little difference between a car and an automatic rifle. Now.
It's a semi-automatic rifle, and cars kill many, many more people than guns. A car is a 4,000-pound bullet.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, let's talk, let's see, one other thing that has passed, and I don't recall seeing, but I imagine you were in favor of, and that was setting up TUB as an independent utility.
Yes, sir. I carried the legislation and was very much in favor of it. And It hit a few hiccups from AT&T and Charter Cable and some of these other folks, simply because they're trying to squash competition. They don't want, TUB is a very successful business model, provides wonderful customer service, and they want to be able to keep that as contained as possible. And they saw the advent of a Tullahoma Utility Authority, which is basically, it allows Tullahoma Utility Board to contract their own debt and to keep their own records more without burdening the city with their strategic plans. But at the same time, the city maintains strategic control over TUB by appointing the board of directors, and an alderman will stay on the board of directors, and it gives much more autonomy to TUB to be able to borrow money and spend money on its own projects without, and it creates more potential debt ceiling for the city should they decide to use it. We did get it passed.
Yeah, by that, what's happening, folks, is that the TUB bond requirements that are presently in the city budget will be transferred directly to TUB, taken off of the city's roster, and that's $13–14 million, I recall.
Yes, sir.
Would come off of the city budget and go directly on the TUB.
And this is happening with more. There's more and more utility. 4 or 5 of them in the state already. And they're increasing. We also we passed a law, home rule law, that allows some cities to do it a little bit easier too, in conjunction with this. So TUB did a great job. Brian Skelton and Brian Coate and all the group over there did a great job supporting us in negotiating the bill against potential enemies, and they were very kind and generous and acquiesce in some things to make everybody feel more comfortable. And the bottom line is we still can't go out of our footprint to provide broadband services unless there's a change in general state law.
We'll be right back with more Newsleader on 6.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gotta be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Our daughter loves baseball, and we tried to get her on some teams, but she just never felt right about it. We thought she would just have to settle for being a fan, until Rotary stepped in, and they built this special field. When these kids get to play ball, they're so excited, and they just get to feel like regular kids. They took an idea of just letting the kids play baseball and made it fit these kids rather than trying to make the kids fit the field.
Rotary gives people an opportunity to help.
Welcome back. Temperatures are hovering around the mid-90s on most days this summer. Let's watch this video on how you can take care of yourselves during the hot summer months.
Summer's here, but did you know just standing out in the sun can make you sick? Most people don't realize it, but not only is the sun Mother Nature's heater, it can also act as her laser death ray. As the weather heats up, so do our bodies, and you sweat to cool yourself. You cool down as the sweat on your body evaporates. If the weather is hot and also humid, your sweat can't evaporate as well. This keeps your body's air conditioning from getting its thermostat low enough. Heat-related illnesses such as heat cramps, heat syncope, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke can occur when this happens. Doing a lot of strenuous activity outside can really work up a sweat. All this sweating depletes the body's salt and moisture levels. The low salt level causes cramping or heat cramps. These result in painful muscular spasms in the arms, legs, and abdomen. Be sure to drink plenty of fluids to help prevent heat cramps. After several days of exposure to high temperatures and inadequate fluids, heat exhaustion can develop. As people approach heat exhaustion, the skin may be cool and moist. The victim can be dizzy, thirsty, and weak. Their pulse rate will be fast and weak with fast and shallow breathing. Heat syncope causes a person to suddenly faint or pass out during activities in a hot environment. The body cools itself by increasing blood flow to the skin where heat is released. This shift of blood flow reduces the amount of blood flowing to the brain, which stops the brain from functioning, causing a person to faint. Many times, the skin gets pale, sweaty, and cool. Heat stroke is a true medical emergency that can be fatal if not properly and promptly treated. Normally, a person suffering from heat stroke experiences high body temperature, the absence of sweating, with hot red or flush dry skin, rapid pulse, difficulty breathing, strange behavior, hallucinations, confusion, agitation, disorientation, seizures, and or a coma. If you see someone suffering from a heat-related illness, get help quickly. Call for medical assistance. Only qualified medical staff can determine a further course of action. Cool the victim rapidly using whatever methods you can. Cooling the victim may prevent delirium or a coma. Some methods to try are removing clothing and bringing the victim into a shaded area. Immerse the victim in a tub of cool water. Place the person in a cool shower. Spray the victim with cool water from a garden hose. Sponge the person with cool water. Place ice packs in the armpits and groin. If the humidity is low, wrap the victim in a cool, wet sheet and fan him or her vigorously. If there is vomiting, make sure the airway remains open by turning the victim on his or her side. Until help arrives, you can have the victim lie down, apply a cold compress and elevate their feet. Use a fan if you have one to lower their temperature, and have the victim drink cool liquids if they are conscious and willing.
I have plenty of fluids to keep me hydrated. I've got sunscreen, a protective hat, protective eyewear. I'm sitting in the shade.
Remember to increase your fluid intake during extreme heat, especially if you're physically active. The CDC recommends 16 to 32 ounces of water for every hour you're exposed to hot weather, regardless of whether or not you feel thirsty. Stay away from sodas or sugary drinks, as they can actually dehydrate you. Sport drinks are great alternatives as they help you replenish the salt, minerals, and electrolytes you lose when you sweat. Wear appropriate clothing, lightweight, light-colored, and loose-fitting. And be sure to apply sunscreen. You need at least SPF 15 or higher to prevent sunburn and skin dehydration. If you must be outdoors, try to limit your activity to morning and evening hours. Just a little preparation keeps summer safe and enjoyable.
And don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include local musician known as Beach Grove Bob, who will play us a couple of tunes, and we'll also speak with Grammy-winning bluegrass musician Becky Bueller, who will be playing a festival next week, and will let us know all about it. All that and more on this week's Living.
Stay with us. We'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
The Kia Summers on Us sales event is going on right now at Russell Barnett Kia of Tullahoma. Let me tell you about this event. Purchase a new Kia Sedona, Kia Optima, Kia Forte, and receive 0% financing up to 66 months and your first 3 payments for free. For a limited time only, no strings attached. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. The Kia Summers on Us sales event going on right now. Why buy anywhere else?
It's your trademark. That's something special everyone knows and remembers. It's your thing. It's made holidays special for decades, and summers unforgettable for the entire neighborhood. It's made everyone laugh every single time. Don't let illness or injury keep you from doing your thing. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
The animal shelter has served Tullahoma dogs for nearly 30 years. Now, you can help us build a bigger and better no-kill shelter. Your tax-deductible gift is matched dollar for dollar. So come on, bark it forward and donate now to have your tax-deductible gift matched. Make your check payable to the COT Shelter Building Fund and go to tullahomatn.gov to see all the unique gifts available for your generosity. For more details, you can call City Hall at 455-2648.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1946 at 100 degrees. Our record low was in 1940 at 54 degrees. Average high on this day is 87 and the average low is 66. Storms are in your forecast tonight with a low of around 72. 50% chance of storms in the forecast for Wednesday with a high of 90 and a low of 75. And that chance of storms drops to 40 on Thursday with a high expected of 90 and a low of 74. And that's our Newsleader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
Have a great evening.